Yes. Hey everyone. So the dancers are still coming. And then maybe we can do like a shorter warm up. So I will just do a couple of minutes.
Here. You remove the image from Zoom.
Yeah, this is something else. But yeah, no one is really sorry. I'm trying to speak to someone, but I think no one is really in touch. Can someone hear me? Oh, you can hear us. But the center, can you hear us? Ah. So maybe can send in the WhatsApp or in the chat to the center. So cute. Oh, the center, can you hear us? No. You cannot hear us, right?
Can you
oh,
hear
you
us
can?
now?
Yeah, we
oh,
can.
yay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Nice. So, yeah. Fabi's coming soon? Oh, okay. So maybe we can start in like a minute or something, and I will do a bit shorter, and then we can transfer it. Is that okay?
I didn't hear what Robin said.
I can come in when we start.
What did Robin say?
He said that Fabi's coming and then there'll be short.
Guys, do you already have audience there?
No, but it's like we open the door and then we're already, like we start and then we open the door, kind of, right?
Our door is still closed. We will open as soon as we know you're ready.
Okay, cool.
You guys?
Athena, can you hear us?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Kapila.
Hi.
Kapila, have you opened your doors yet for an audience?
Not yet. I'm just waiting for the cue from your side. Once you tell, I will open.
Okay, as soon as Fabi's in and Doc says yes, then we can all open.
Yes, 20 seconds. 19 and a half, 18. 6 and a half. Okay, Yala. Yeah, if you can close that. Okay, so hi everyone. So I think we can start a bit to connect with our bodies, so we can ground ourselves a bit when the audience is coming in. Let's start actually, maybe we can start with a bit shaking our bodies, so we can empty our body a bit, so that we're more transcending to be connecting with the people here, the people in the ITA, the people on the other side. Ooh, I'm also shaking my microphone, I'm sorry. Try to hold my microphone. Nice, and let's shake just one leg for a bit, like a dog. Nice. Yes. Can really shake the blood out of this leg. Nice. And let's just lengthen your leg. Nice. Can feel the difference between your legs. And let's just shake the other leg as well. It's really shaking the blood out of your upper leg, lower leg, out of your feet, ankle, maybe even hips. Nice. But let's shake our arms as well. Nice. And let's just stop for a moment, just feel the echo. And then with that feeling, we can discover the space a bit. So you can see the people coming in. We can also touch the floor, waking up our senses again. You can see each other. You can feel the energy of the people around you. Maybe we can also come a bit closer to the camera already to feel the distance in between us. Ooh. The distance between your legs and your arms. The distance between the dancers and the dancers, between the public. Nice. You can sense the light falling on your skin, the shadows that you create that are traveling in the space as extra creatures. Nice. And on top of that, let's just stretch our skin and body a bit more so we even discover a bit more out of our peripheral space. Nice. And maybe you see someone and you can make some eye contact with a human or an object or your own shadow. And then from there, we can transfer to the center. You can take over and maybe play a bit with some things.
No, let's continue with that stretching, but taking it onto the floor, extending all the way to the floor, feeling the contact with the floor, taking it as slow as you possibly can, finding the relationship that you have with the floor. Take your time with it, allow each body part to touch the floor. But also acknowledging the space. How close can you go? How far can you go? And as you find that proximity, nATANDA, take over. Can you hear me, nATANDA?
All language, we use our own language. Let's keep talking with your own language.
All right. Dumelang. Dumelang. Le kae? Re teng. Ra le dumedisa. Ra la amogela. Ka leina ke nna Kamogelo.
Igama uPhumlane, Phumlane waKaMndebele.
Re tlo tshameka gompieno.
Okay, keep talking. You can use your own language.
Ga go utlwe sentle nATANDA, ga le utlwe sentle.
Right.
We were muted. Should we say let's dance in the different languages?
Yes, I even forgot what you said the last time. Remind us.
Laten wij dansen met onze blauwe schoenen aan.
What is Zwakamo? What?
Laten wij dansen.
Last night dancing.
Laten wij dansen, ja.
Yeah.
What? Say, come again, Robin.
Laten wij dansen.
Latin Rhine dancing. What is Clara's one again?
What is it?
Balliamo.
Banyamo.
Banyamo.
Balliamo.
Baliamo.
Baliamo. Matha wena. So in my language, Kasitswana, we would say Rabina. We would say Retlobina. Retlobina. Somewhere there, Retlobina. Kapila, how do we say it?
Can you say it one more time?
Yeah.
Retlobina.
You can say one more.
Rego.
Yes, come now, Fabi, doing the things.
So what about nATANDA? Can you repeat it one more time? Let's dance.
Natemu.
Atapu.
Mateu.
Natemo.
Natebo.
Mateu.
Natemo.
Matebo.
Hi.
Ke Mateu.
Matebo.
Are you done, Kapila? Huh?
Yes, we are done.
Okay.
Yes, Natemu.
Okay, Matebo.
Thank you.
And Tebo is my mother's name, so it's Matebo. So welcome everyone. And welcome to the people online who might be watching us online. And welcome to people in Sri Lanka and in the Netherlands to this project. We call this project Thinking in the Ether. And this is a project that was actually funded by the, the Netherlands Embassy, and we've got Jessica in our midst here who made, this project possible between, the embassies of the Netherlands in South Africa and in Sri Lanka. And we would like to thank them very much. This is a process of ideation which Athena will introduce,
So at the start of a process, it's about gathering ideas and testing ideas. So we call that ideation. So the three companies have met actually over very few days. We've had a few days here and a few days there to look at what might be possible when you are working across and in the ether with people in all parts of the world. So we've connected to see what might be possible, specifically when we're working through the body, with a mediated body. What is it to be in connection? What is it to be out of connection? And we have experienced quite a few challenges working in the ether. And so it's about how we've tackled those challenges or had to work around those challenges, looking specifically at load shedding that we have in our country and a similar situation in Sri Lanka. So we have had a process of just encountering some ideas and workshopping some things. So ideation is what we do, is sort of the engine of a process. So what you're witnessing today is what we call the open moment. It's a moment where we open the process to you. So you're not going to be seeing a completed work. In fact, you're getting the wonderful privilege of seeing the beginning of a process. So these are the ideas that we're now going from all the exploration and all the play we've had. These are some of the ideas and experiments we would like to take forward if we are to carry on. So it's really early stages of what we're exploring.
Yes. So one may ask, in detail what this ideation thing is. It's just basically where, artists come together, in the process of creation to basically start and begin ideas together and see and develop a language for whatever that they are exploring, and the grammar for what they are exploring. And basically, that is fed by the energy that they create by coming together, by their proximity, whether physical or mental. And the ideation process is basically thinking through making. So these are the initial ideas that have come out of this project, thinking in the ether. My name is Phala Oketitse Phala, and Athena and I are speaking, to you from Johannesburg at the Center for the Less Good Idea. The animateur for the Less Good Idea. And I'll let Athena introduce herself.
So I'm Athena Mazarakis, and I'm the momenteur of SO, the Academy for the Less Good Idea. And we have a team of people here who we'll introduce you to. I'll hand over to Phala so I can go and be part of that team behind.
So Athena is not only a momenteur, today she's the operator of Zoom. And I have here with me Kamkhelo Mlotwe. So he is the choreographer and the lead of this project. And I have Puti Chokwe, who is a choreographer and a dancer and an educator. I have got Pumlani Mundebele, who is a dancer, choreographer, performer. And on camera, I have got Bukozibake Koza. And you won't see him because he's the one who's behind camera. I've got Noah Cohen, who's the director of the cinematography at the center. I have also, Ross, there, I have also, who's our sound
Upstairs.
technician, and I have also there, I can't see. Oh, it's Besh. Yeah. Yeah, and I've got Besh who's doing our photography. All right, so that's the team that, and on top there, on our project, I've got Eddie Makazo Mutolo, who's the holder and the stage manager and everything at the center. So, and then we've got right there who I can't see as well is Matthews Phala, no relations, but nepotism. Here, so it's Phala to Phala. So welcome to this exploration. And what we are going to do now is to hand over to docs to introduce themselves.
Yes, thank you so much. So just to introduce our organization, Docs. We are a company based in Utrecht, in the Netherlands, and we focus on theater performances, dance productions, that are performed in different stages across the country, but also international exchanges like this one. We work with different, can you see us? It looks like we're in the dark.
Yeah, we can see.
We work in different ranges. So it's partly professional performance, but also talent development, education. And my role particularly is working in context programming and education. So really also creating more of an experience around the performances and reaching a wide audience that can engage with our work. And today I would love to introduce our team. So this is Clara. She's a dance artist and also a sound designer. Fabi, dance artist. Robin, dance artist and maker. And behind the camera we have Adam. And I'm very happy to welcome some of our colleagues and visitors to share our work, to be here live in the studio. So thanks for coming, to make time. And for now, I would like to hand over to nATANDA.
Hi everyone, my name is Kapila. I'm the artist director, choreographer and founder of Sri Lanka's first contemporary dance company. We are so happy to be in this program. So this is a wonderful platform to connect and reconnect with the intercultural dialogue to enhance the power of engagement of art and culture to develop conversation, to at the history of culture and political and social bond with our Kingdom of Netherlands that carried out since 17th century. So here are my dancers. This is Takshika, and then this is Malik, and this is Kalani. So we have some guests have arrived. We are so happy to be interconnected with everybody here. So yeah, so let's see what's going to happen. And we are very thankful to everyone who have been working so hard to this. And we have another team also working here with us, back of the cameras. So let's see how it's going to be happening. Thank you.
Okay, that takes care of our introductions. Can everybody go into blackout in their screens so that we are getting into the first ideation, which is working with light and close-up of cameras. So everybody go on cameras off, on Zoom. Thank you. And Clara, when you are ready in the Netherlands, lead us into an exploration, not into temptation. Clara, are we waiting for the music?
We're just waiting for her sound to work. One moment.
Thank you. Those are the challenges that we're experiencing, ladies and gentlemen. And it goes.
Many centuries ago, people of color from the African continent were taken by colonizers. Taken with the purpose of them being slaves, but many of them never arrived to the destination where they'd be slaves. Many died while on voyage and were thrown off ships. Ka setso sa rona, ha motho a tlhokofetse, o ira mmereko wa go lata mowa wa gagwe. How do you fetch a lost spirit when it is lost in the ocean? How do you fetch a lost spirit when it is in the ocean? O lata yang mowa wa kwa batho ba kwa yeno go bisa gae ga ba latlhegile mo metsing? Ukulanda. Ukulanda. Ukulanda.
It is a strange thing that all the memories have these two qualities. They're always full of quietness, and that is the most striking thing about them. Soundless gestures, wordless, and their silence is what is not going to disturb me.
Come on, Sarah. Dima, you can remove a pen.
The first, exploration where everybody was attempting to really like interact with one another. But from all the projects that they were doing, each space, each collaborators within each country found things that they wanted to explore, that were inspired by them exploring stuff. So we're going to start with dogs and see what in the Netherlands came out of this exploration. Then we'll move to nATANDA, then we'll come to Johannesburg.
thank you. We were kind of busy with creating a certain sense of almost like a mood board, what we were busy with in those several days. I think one of the keywords is degrowth. So it's almost like the opposite of producing or reproducing, the opposite of capitalism. And how could degrowth or less create new spaces? It's also just, nature or coming back to your roots, something that was on my mind. Maybe also Fabi and Clara, if there's something you want to share about these several days or this.
To be sensitive regardless of the distance. Somehow still creating a physical connection through being active with yourself.
Yeah, being sensitive with the human bodies around us, and also being challenged by the distance, so the digital that we were using, and being sensitive also in the distance with other human bodies.
Thank you. So now we'll go further with, I think, nATANDA. Yes, so thank you.
So this is about connection and reconnection. So because of this is like a three-continent dance project, an art project, so we were working with the connections of the cultures and interacting with each cultures. Thank you. The dancers.
Thank you, everyone. And we are now Johannesburg.
To be sensitive, a lot of artists.
Mute yourselves.
Technologies.
Mute yourselves. Kapila.
So,
oh, sorry.
Creating our content through the webinar creativity. So, I experienced a lot of things with this, and thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Over to center.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I
you,
was too
Kapila.
early.
Thank you. So from our side, I think what was interesting for us was to explore what it means for dancers not to dance, but to play with other elements outside of the body. So what else can dance in the space? And what we arrived to is the play between light and darkness, but the landscapes that also can arise and come from darkness when you play with the shadow. As kids, we play a lot with lights and shadows through the candle. So we started to explore those different landscapes. What you see is the reality, but what you perceive is a world outside of the reality. So that is what was of interest to us at the center. Thank you.
And with that, that was some of the inspirations that had come out of, the ideas that were coming out in the space as the different, countries were interacting. And now, to wrap it up, we're going to go back to, a collective kind of a making that was explored, that is going to use a lot of, close-up and objects and landscapes of what those particular objects bring, into the frame. So those are, we are trying to now move back to the collective. Is everyone ready? Yes. We are on standby in Johannesburg. I can see that
They've had a power cut, but they've changed to their cell phone.
okay, so some of the challenges that we have. During the exploration of this, we had a lot of power cuts. So at least between South Africa and Sri Lanka, we've got the same kind of problems of power cuts. So they've got their own ESCOM problems. So now they've switched to cell phone, and we are hoping that, they will be able to stay longer. Sometimes with the cell phone, as you know, it can go off when the network, we never know. So let's go. Yes. Oh, yeah. And that brings us to the end of our explorations.
You're funny. Come now, Fabi.
Oh, baby.
Are you happy?
Yes, these are unfinished ideas about, what the ideation process, brought about. And the idea was that for us to be able to, between the three companies in Sri Lanka, in South Africa, and in the Netherlands, to be able to put something together and to find the things that are common, amongst us and that, were emerging from the interactions together, from the disconnection and the connection. And this is the ideas that have come through. These are unfinished ideas. This is an exploration phase of what is possible, between, the companies. And what is possible because of the kind of languages that they agreed, to have. One of the first languages was, how the camera becomes a way of seeing within, the space. The second was also how darkness and light interact. The third was, how objects can enhance whatever that, is being done. And then was also exploring with landscapes. So those are the ideas that they have had. By no means, a finished product, but one is, these are intriguing to see how far they can go if they were explored as, a performance. But the thing that was quite important was to see how, outside of just the body moving, what else moves? What is the moving light? What is the moving, camera? Zoom, enable or disable us? And how does the ether come into space to become one space that connects all of us? So that has been, what the ideation has, been able to bring to us. And one for me, the thing that stood out the most was how darkness becomes a language in the spaces, and it is able to connect all of us instead of light all the time. Yeah. So if you've got any questions, whether they're in Sri Lanka, whether in the Netherlands, or here in our audience members, you are free to ask, and we'll take those questions however they come, and they will be answered by the people who are involved in the project. All of you there, Robin, Fabi, there, Clara, Kapila and team there, and yeah. So there's a mic here. Do you want to sit?
I'll bring chairs.
Okay. I think it's better sitting because you have been standing.
I'll take from here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if please, if there's no questions, it's nice, eh? So it doesn't mean that, we won't falter you. If there's no questions, very nice. If there is, then that's nice too. I love this. Have we lost nATANDA?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I think it's nice.
Oh, no, they're there.
Hello. Oh, there's one question, yes.
No, guys, I'm just trying to log into from another device, like the phone. So just give us a few moments, because after the power cut, we are trying to sort of move into the phone. Now, second phone, because one phone is just holding. Second phone that we just wanted to sort of see you guys. So therefore, I need a bit of a time. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kapila. These are the challenges. Every time we were in this project, these are some of the challenges where sometimes we have load shedding, network goes, we need to wait for each other. So if you were to sit outside and listen to some of the things, it was like, are you back? Are you there? nATANDA, are you there?
Yes,
Docs,
I'm
are
there,
you
I'm
there?
Yes, I'm there.
Exactly. That's how it sounded. So we've got one question here. We've got one question here, yeah. So we'll take that question from... We've got some feedback. I don't know whether it's from nATANDA. Can you mute yourself for now?
It's nATANDA. Let me just mute it. It's Clara. There we go.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you can go ahead, Jessica.
Okay, firstly, can you hear me? I want to say thank you. That was amazing and incredibly interesting to watch and so surprising.
Okay, can you hear us?
Yeah, we've got a question here, Kapila. Yeah, that's
Part of the ether.
So I have two questions, and one is what was most interesting about working with a screen or a body that's on a screen, and also what was most surprising about working with a camera and a screen?
Did you hear the question?
No.
Okay. Okay, the question was, what was interesting about working with,
The screen.
the screen
And then the camera.
and the
screen.
camera, and then what else? What is the
The
second one?
screen and what was surprising? What is surprising?
And what
working
was
the camera?
surprising about, the exploration?
Maybe we can do a round of centered docs.
Yes.
nATANDA.
So
Sure.
that question goes to everyone.
But let's start at the center.
Yes. Let's start with you, Kamu.
Sure. I think what's interesting is, I was saying this to the team the other day, is that usually when someone says you're a dancer, the expectation is that you're going to move in a particular way. And suddenly working with a screen, particularly in the days of like screen dance, this became a different dynamic towards how it is that we perceive
Sorry,
our
just
bodies.
pause a second, Kama. We've lost the internet briefly.
Sure.
Yeah. And this is
Dot,
everyday
dot.
problems.
I'm surprised the gods of the ether allowed us to do this much.
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
All right.
We are back. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? I'm seeing Fabi dance.
Out there in the ether, can you hear us?
Ether going once, can you hear us?
We don't hear you.
Oh,
you don't
hang
hear
on, I see
us,
why. I
but we
see
see
when we
you.
got locked off. We got, okay.
Perhaps then they
Can
can
you hear
start.
us?
That's
Yes, we
exactly.
can hear you now.
Can you
Okay,
hear
very
you?
good. No, the thing is like from your question, I heard only I like to ask 2 questions, and after that I could not hear anything, or we could not do anything.
Oh, okay. Okay, Kapila. Yes, I'll repeat the question. Kamu is better at repeating it because he was about to answer it. So Kamu, you go.
So the 2 questions was what is interesting about working with the screen, and the second question was what was most surprising with working both with the camera and the screen, and I think I'll couple them together. I think usually as dancers, there's an expectation to see bodies move in a particular way. And more so now in the days of screen dance and framing the body. It was quite interesting for us to have a relationship first with the camera to realize that it's also a collaborator in the space, and that it's not just capturing our movements, but that it's also in relationship with us collaborating with how it is that we move, what the audience sees, the audience in the space, but the audience also online. And I think what was most interesting, particularly with the screen, is the ways in which we could collapse space. There was a moment after the piano, climbing things, where the company in the Netherlands, Dogs, was projected here, and it almost sort of seems as though we are somewhat in the same space because the bodies sometimes look like they are the same size. And so that illusion then goes, how do we collaborate when we're in different spaces, and can a projector then allow us to create this illusion of collapsing space? So I think for me, and I'm not sure if my colleagues here agree, it was something quite interesting. I mean, that moment where Robin eats up Pootie, I was like, whoa, boom, something is happening there. So it created very nice moments for us to possibly explore further.
Yeah.
Dogs, I'm throwing it to you now.
Yes.
Yes, fine.
Yeah! Okay, sorry. So the question was, what was most interesting about working with a screen and what was most surprising? Well, for me, the most interesting thing was, actually it was at first not fun, because it reminded me a little bit of the times during lockdown where I was still in school and the endless hours spending behind the screen, and that was not fun. And I think all of us share that feeling. But somehow it says, knowing that this, how is it, discomfort, you kind of like work your way through it. And I developed new ways to interact with the screen, which is not compromising my own health or my own energy, I guess. Because sometimes you're so drawn and you're so like, there are all these small little psychological things you always keep looking at yourself because we're all self-obsessed. And that, you know, like all this, and then you don't know really where to focus because you don't really look into people's eyes, and you kind of shapes, and it's very hard to make a human connection. Which brings me to the point, was the most surprising. I instantly felt connected with all of y'all throughout the screen. And yeah, exactly. And it became very, very moving, literally. So physically, I was very moved. And through that, I found, as I said also earlier, a more connection with myself. So I was more connected with my own body, because I had that joy. I was able to channel that projected to the screen, and we had this connection. So that was for me beautiful, the human aspect of what the screen can do.
Thank you.
Somehow was also powerful. Somehow was also powerful because we could, as you said, connect with each other, but playing, you know, with a lot of limitations. So we were going against somehow the limitation to still trying to connect to each other, to find something in the end, or to discover or to create something together. So regardless, limitations and power cuts, and was nice moment to actually connect all together in 3 different places, and yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean, you want to say something, Robin? Okay. I mean, one thing, nATANDA, one thing is that the power cuts never cut, they never cut our power to connect. So. Kapila? No, Robin doesn't want to speak. He spoke with his body.
Okay, so it's like this because to tell you, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, Kapila.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, so it's like this, like basically our, it's bouncing and it's you know, you guys clear with me or it's just not really clear?
we hear you, Kapila.
Okay, good. So it's basically what we wanted to say is that, you know, during these sessions, I think we enormously face a lot of challenges because our systems of the power cut is like, we don't know. For example, like we were planning a lot of, you know, the schedules, meeting and everything. And then we cannot say whether we can be there or whether we can't be there. Because for example, and if the event is tomorrow, our Zoom meeting, and today we will know the time exactly when the power cut is also going. And so sometimes they cut the power 2 times for maintenance work and then the regular power cuts. So we don't know. There is a bit of like communications issue with the power cut system. And even now we are sitting outside because there is no power, it's so hot. So we came to the sort of like outside area. We are sitting in the outside area. There's a lot of mosquitoes. So we are just, fighting with the mosquitoes now. So these are the sort of like challenges we always face. Because very beginning, like when we were just starting to work with this, we were so scared. We could not sort of like present our work or we won't be able to do the things what we are expected and things like that. So we had this fear of like how to face these challenges. But then later on, we also discovered that, we just have to face the consequences of the power cut. So we can't just control that because it's out of our control. So we have to face the problematic situation, and then we have to overcome also like how to face the challenges. So sometimes you have to let go things. So even like sometimes like when we dance or when we talk, so that the screen is talking. And then we are thinking, okay, so they are hearing us, we are keep talking. But then later we are realizing, no, actually they are not listening to us or they don't see us. So these are the things that we really came across with the whole process of the working together. The positive side of actually with this project, we made a really beautiful friendship. So we got to know each other so well. And we are like a one family, and we realized that everybody is facing the same issues with the technology, because the technology is giving a bit of a hard time to minimize your body movements, because we have to adapt ourselves to the camera, because camera does not allow us to do what we wanted to do. So basically, camera is dancing for us, and we have to go according to the dance. So this is something that also we learn throughout the process, and also we also realize that it's such a huge difference where we can even not think of like how those movements could be created within the environment of the cameras, because camera is in a way is disabled to us, but also in a way that is very able to us. So these are like ups and downs, don'ts and do's, and all these things are incorporated with the camera. Because sometimes we work with the Zoom camera, sometimes we work with the phone camera, sometimes we work with the computer camera, and then we get completely like confused with the text. Because the camera get confused, we get confused. So these are the interesting things happen. And then working with those challenges, we also learn so much. We also learned so much how we could incorporate this beautiful experience into our future. Maybe physically working together, or working with, again, virtually. We don't know how the process will be happening, but this is an excitement for us to look for the future of our collaboration. So therefore, I find it is really interesting that this project was created to combine the three cultures together to bring the elements of each country's cultures and having their own perspective of the cultural heritages to bring into one platform where we connect with the technology. So these are like a beautiful moment that we have learned. So I think I should be very thankful to the center of the center and also the dogs organization, and also I'm very thankful to all the dancers and all the people who are here witnessing our performances. Although we are in a very like a hot situation because there is no band, but we are still excited to share our knowledge and the passions and the love in this project. Thank you.
Thank you for that vote of thanks. And I'm sorry about the mosquitoes, my friend, that you are sitting outside and you are getting eaten by mosquitoes. We never anticipated, mosquito bites. in this project. I think, with that, so that we don't keep, Kapila and them there in the mosquitoes, I'd like, if you have a question, you can ask us here. You can ask if you are in, Sri Lanka, if you are in, the Netherlands, ask the dancers, and I'd like to bring this to a close.
Can we just, maybe in all the spaces, is it possible to see the audiences? So we bring Johannesburg into Sri Lanka into the Netherlands.
Yes.
Is it possible for each team just to give a sense of the people there?
Spotlight.
Matthews, if you can give us more light.
Spotlight.
Your camera. This is the audiences in...
Some of the audience.
We've got two members of the audience in the Netherlands.
Woo-hoo.
And this is the
yes,
number
some of the audience left already. Just after.
And these are the audiences in... I've seen the audiences there in nATANDA. Yes, in Sri Lanka.
Hello,
beautiful. Audience. Yes. Thank you everyone for coming and being with us, and for the patience, and thank you to the virtual space, to the ether, for not misbehaving a lot. Yeah. And thanks everyone, and thanks to everyone who was involved. Thanks for the energy that you bring as the audience members always. Yeah. With that.